The quickest of my weekly sessions is back and I am eager to get some work done. This is a specific day that in the past I have been skipping or half-assing quite a few times, and I have some ground to cover back. Started off with the usual tuck rows and I wasn't going as well as the previous time where my back was much flatter for much longer. I still felt like there was a good engagement in there, but not at the same level. And in here I'm just alternating a few sets of different exercises, even though I started off with tuck rows and I did 3 sets, and then I moved on to this superset where I'm doing explosive work for the lower body in the forms of the kettlebell swings. In this case it's a dumbbell because they don't have heavier kettlebells than 20 kilos, but I'm taking the 34 kilos in here and I'm taking it for 2 sets. And in here I'm focusing on not letting my knees bend as much. The first set I wasn't really able to do that as well as I did it the previous week with the lower weight, but in the second set things went slightly better. And then I'm supersetting that with some work on the overhead press, sitting down, controlled movements, trying to get the right muscles to fire and hopefully not get any pain. Sometimes I feel like there is a bit of fatigue building up in the higher reps sets. So as I'm approaching 10 repetitions, I start feeling like the rotator cuff tightens out a bit too much, and I start feeling a bit of a discomfort. In here, I widened my stance a little bit. I was letting my toes flare out a bit more just to be able to get into a good hip hinge without bending the knees too much. There are a couple of repetitions where, especially in the end, I'm feeling like I'm bending them a bit more because I'm feeling that I don't want to overstretch the hamstrings in such an explosively loaded fashion. But the idea is to not really to be teetering at the edge of discomfort, because with such an explosively loaded exercise it's very easy to do something wrong and to go 3 steps backwards, but still with a weight that is manageable, getting into the right position for the exercise, which is in a more straight leg and more of a hip hinge position, almost where the torso gets parallel to the floor. Looking at the tuck rows, the first set was so-so, the second one was alright, and the third one I was doing even less reps. I went up to 5 because I felt like after the third one I wasn't really doing much good. And finishing it off, I wanted to get some extra blood in the shoulder, so I was doing a few handstands, just getting to see if I'm still able to do a tuck and then up into a straddle. Keeping the handstands in a low volume, higher frequency, so I'm aiming to do these every 2 or 3 days. I don't want to get any pain in the wrist, but also don't want to unlearn how to do them. Ciao.